you're using it more without even realizing it all the time your entire life. It's really hard to catch up a non or less dominant arm. All right. Hey, fam. So this is an accountability post I need to put out there because I have quite a bit of work ahead of me and just as many questions. I've never liked my arms, a bit on the small side compared to the rest of my body. My wife thinks I'm mental, but hey, there it is. What's worse is I feel my left is smaller than my right, which bugs me. I know it shouldn't and it's petty, but I'm obsessed with being symmetrical. It's very common too, so we'll get into that. I know I can't get both left and right blatantly identical, but I'd like them to be closer in size and current. Yeah, gotta go back to eating more, sure, need to train my arms more often, all no problem. I'm not far into hard work and I ate more before I can do it again. But question to my bodybuilders, per arm symmetry, do I need to train my left arm even more than the usual? Often that I'm about to embark? Do I need to make a conscious effort to generally use my left arm more and develop ambidextrous? Plus, clock is ticking. I'm 45. I need to get on this yesterday. Help. Let's see. Do I need to train my left arm even more? Yeah, I think, it's normal to have an imbalance. I would definitely do some more negative, some assisted, do some more volume. I mean, focusing on using your left arm more. It's just when you have a dominant arm, it's just going to be stronger and more. You're using it more without even realizing it all the time your entire life. It's really hard to catch up a non or less dominant arm. So yeah, I mean, it's more volume. It's going to be more reps, maybe more sets, maybe just focus more on one arm rather than doing both in a session. Give it some time to catch up. There's different strategies. I mean, it's the same way you would progressively overload any muscle, but it doesn't necessarily going to develop or have the same shape. I mean, sometimes some people have the same strength, but one arm is smaller or doesn't have the same peak. Because just think, if you have a dominant arm, you've been using that it's just different. I mean, I have those subtle differences. You know, my arms aren't completely symmetrical. Not everyone is destined or not everyone's able to have the same kind of bicep insertions and the same exact symmetry. Symmetry is so that's what happens with bodybuilding. If you are a freak enough to have that genetic symmetry, plus the work ethic, plus the hard training, plus you're taking the anabolics, plus you're doing, you're dieting properly, then you see this ridiculous symmetry. I mean, if you have those people that are just doing it, they just happen to have the genetics and plus they put in that kind of effort and they respond, you can have some ridiculous symmetry down to the last detail, but not everyone has genetically that kind of symmetry. I mean, people have like ears are different heights. Women, one breast is larger than the other. Plus when you're training arms, sometimes it's also not your imagination, but one arm might be internally rotated more. If you're always driving with your left arm, you could have more internal rotation. So it's also about balancing your scapula. It's about your posture. Maybe you have a little bit of like imbalance left and right, but definitely good to do some more, maybe some extra reps, do some more negatives or some more isometrics, do some more volume on that left side for sure. I mean, are you measuring it? Is it smaller from a visible standpoint or is it smaller from a shape standpoint? It just doesn't look the same, or it's physically look the same, but it's just literally measurement wise smaller. It's very common. It's one of those challenging things. Sometimes it just it's not going to look the same exactly.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no ollies, you children popping.